about it, making you think it's just a funny thing. It doesn't matter. Why are you making a big deal out?
Telling you, man, the waiters. Oh, we should be live. And how
Lies about her birthday at one of these restaurants, kind of like an Applebee's, but it's called Families, right? And let's just see what happens when she lies. All of a sudden, everything changes. They bring out the snake and a bunch of people with like pentagrams and goblets and a literal demon. And of course, she had to do something. Let's just play this. You'll see what I'm getting at.
I told you we should be live. Okay, how would they know you're lying? It's probably just unrelated tribal drumming and a live snake. No, I'm telling you, man, the waiters, they know.
When you lie about a birthday at Friendly's, you must pay the ultimate price.
Sin! 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 Oh, steady me.
Then, of course, they bring out the demon as well. What was the name? Let's see here. Lamash 2, apparently. So Lady Gaga openly performs a ritual in, of course, this SNL skit. I can't speak. SNL skit, where a demonic entity named Lamash 2 is, of course, brought forth. One person drinks some red stuff from a goblet, signifying a chilling reading by the so-called mother, of beasts. Of course, everyone's celebrating Lady Gaga's appearance on SNL, Saturday Night Live. Oh, this is so funny. Ha, ha, ha. Like, this is just a joke. It's always just a joke, of course. This is how they try to get you into it, right? I've seen it with atheists. They'll say, hail, Satan. Oh, it's just a joke. Don't mean anything. Be playing with, things that they don't understand, that may be occultic, and think it doesn't matter because there is no God, there's no devil. Who cares? Oh, there's something wrong with you. You believe in all that stuff. That hocus pocus.
ABC Mouse is a full online curriculum designed by learning experts for kids ages 2 through 8.
Meanwhile, in Canada, Canada's Liberal Party has now elected a successor to Justin Trudeau. Today, voters elected economist Mark Carney as the new party leader. He's never held a parliament position before, but did head the Bank of Canada during the 2008 financial.
The president did not say anything about rolling back the increased tariffs on imports from China. And this morning, that country's chief diplomat accused the U.S. of, quote, two-faced acts. Anna Corin has more from Beijing.
With an escalation in the US-China trade war earlier this week, China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi addressed the media today in his annual press conference, vowing that Beijing will, quote, resolutely counter US tariffs. In a highly choreographed session with local and foreign media, the foreign minister, without mentioning the US president by name, made a point of America's lack of sincerity in its behavior towards China and Trump's public remarks of wanting a good relationship with President Xi.
任何一个国家都不能幻想一边对华打压遏制，一边又与中国发展良好关系。
Well, days ago, China announced ambitious plans for growth during its National People's Congress meeting, not only in response to Trump's tariffs, but to strengthen its economy, where youth unemployment, deflation, and the property crisis remain central issues. But Beijing has been preparing for this moment since the first trade war began back in 2018. Now the global leader in key industries and reducing its reliance on the United States. Well, President Trump is now dealing with a very different and defiant China. Back to you.
All right.
On Fox tonight, a small airplane crashed in the middle of a parking lot next to the Lancaster Airport in Manheim Township, injuring 5 people on board. Thanks for joining us for Fox 43 News at 10 tonight. I'm Evan Forrester. And the parking lot is part of a retirement community. Nobody on the ground was hurt. Fox 43's James Corrigan, live at Brethren Village Retirement Community, Manheim. He's got the latest on this rather stunning development.
Evan, stunning doesn't really do it justice. When we got here this afternoon, it looked like a scene out of a movie, a plane literally lying in the middle of a parking lot with cars crushed around it. Fortunately, there are no known fatalities at this time from this crash that happened almost immediately after the plane took off.
Rescue 1, Lancaster Tower, the aircraft is down out just behind the terminal on the parking lot street area.
That Beechcraft Bonanza aircraft went down at 3:18 this afternoon into the parking lot of the Brethren Village Retirement Community almost as soon as it took off from Lancaster Airport right next door. Air traffic control audio indicated that the plane door may have been open.
Lancaster Tower, Bonanza 347 Lake has an open door. We need to return for a landing.
5 were on board the 6-seater aircraft, and all 5 were taken to local hospitals.
We are now transitioning to a recovery and an investigation phase.
Manheim Township officials say the plane, which was intending to go to Springfield, Ohio, did not injure anyone on the ground or damage the building, but did destroy at least 5 cars and damage 12 total.
At no point did the plane or the aircraft strike any part of the structure, so we're very confident that all safety concerns have been addressed.
That may have saved the lives of both those on board and those inside the building. Officials say they believe the plane skidded 100 feet before coming to a rest. While the conditions of those injured are not yet known, Manheim Police Chief Dwayne Fisher says the fact there are no known fatalities at this moment is the best possible news.
The fact that we have a plane crash where everybody survives and nobody on the ground is hurt is a wonderful thing. And anytime you have transportation, you always have risk when people are moving. And to have this type of ending right so far is a great day for us.
Now, the crash is, of course, under investigation, but we did hear, as you just did, from the air traffic control audio that the door of the plane may have been open. Now, we also heard in the audio that the pilot was not able to hear the tower due to the wind. The winds were gusting it up to about 30 miles an hour this afternoon. Certainly nothing extreme that would have hindered flights or grounded planes. We were told earlier that the FAA and the NTSB were en route to the scene, and the investigation into a plane ending up in a parking lot is now underway. Live in Manheim Township, I'm James Cargan with Fox 43 News.
James, as the chief said, pretty amazing. No one killed, and folks certainly lucky there, both on the ground and those who survived that.
Oh, wow. She's been looking for an insight in that data forever.
Oh.
I'm gonna find it.
Did you tell her about Sasmaya?
No, I thought you did.
I'm gonna tell her.
Oh, no.
The quickest way from a billion points of data to a point of view. SASVIA.
The United States might use access to Elon Musk's satellite internet system, Starlink, as a lever in talks with Ukraine over its critical minerals, sources familiar with the matter have said. And that's put focus on Starlink's smaller European rival. But could Eutelsat help to replace Starlink in Ukraine? Ukraine's fixed line and mobile networks have been badly damaged by bombing since Russia invaded in February 2022. Starlink has helped fill the void by supplying tens of thousands of its small satellite dishes with terminals. They're used to bounce signals off a constellation of satellites overhead. Most are used by Ukraine's armed forces, with units often talking to each other via Starlink. It has become virtually indispensable for battlefield command and control. However, this Ukrainian military commander said in February that at the start of the war they managed without Starlink, and they will continue to manage with or without it. Originally, SpaceX helped to fund the provision of Starlink to Ukraine. The US government then took over, though last month Poland said it had been paying Ukraine's Starlink subscription and would continue to do so.
Rudolf Felmer, Eutelsat.
Eutelsat already supports government and institutional communications in Ukraine and has said it is talking to the EU about providing additional services. Its stock price has more than quadrupled since an explosive clash at the end of February between Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky and US President Donald Trump at the White House. Besides Starlink, the Franco-British company controls the only operational global coverage constellation of satellites in low Earth orbit, or LEO. But Starlink has more than 7,000 LEO satellites, allowing it to reach more users around the world and offer higher data speeds. Eutelsat says its 630-odd LEO satellites, backed up by 35 linked satellites in higher orbit, can offer the same capabilities as Starlink in Europe. Starlink promises broadband at up to 200 megabits per second, Eutelsat at 150. And there's also the matter of cost. Eutelsat's OneWeb terminals cost as much as $10,000, plus a monthly subscription price. Starlink charges Ukrainian users a one-time payment of $589, in addition to a monthly subscription of $95 to $440, depending on the usage.
How was the meeting, Mr. Mudd?
Global competition to Starlink is shaping up, but slowly.
I was born in 1998. Of course I know the 90s. This is gonna be cake. Let's go toys. All right,
And we're learning new details about the Indiana man who was shot by a Secret Service agent outside the White House last night. Sources identified the man as 27-year-old Andrew Dawson and say he is from North Manchester in Wabash County. The Secret Service said they received a report yesterday about a suicidal individual possibly traveling to the Capitol from Indiana. Secret Service personnel found Dawson's vehicle and spotted him walking in the area. The Secret Service says as the agents approached him, that's when he pulled out a gun, and the agency said a, quote, armed confrontation ensued. Shots were fired by the agents, and Dawson was hit. Investigators have not yet released his condition. None of the agents were injured. The car Dawson was driving had Indiana plates and was towed from the scene. The D.C. Metropolitan Police Department is investigating that shooting. President Donald Trump was not at the White House when all of this happened. As he is most weekends, the president was down at his Mar-a-Lago golf club in Florida.